Mr. Will's Music World.
Hello everyone, Mr. Will here for Mr. Will's, I was waiting for you to say it, Mr. Will's Music World. In this episode, we're talking about chimes and bells. I've got some chimes and bells with me here. Got some chimes up here. I've got some chimes down here. I even have some chimes down here. I have some chimes here made out of keys. I also have a Tibetan pin chime right here. Let's pick this one up. Oh, I have I have another chime here. It's a wind chime made out of pottery. Whoa. And behind me, I also have some more wind chimes. Made out of copper. And they're tuned to specific notes. Actually, many of these chimes here are tuned to a specific note. These chimes here are tuned to specific notes, as well as these. And chimes, as well as bells, are played in all different types of music all around the world. They're also played during the holiday season. It's a very popular thing to hear chimes and bells being played during the Christmas season. In front of me here, I have some bells that are actually repurposed from an everyday item, salad bowls. Now, when I say everyday items, what I mean is things that you may find in your kitchen or in some people's kitchen. These are salad bowls made out of steel. And it almost sounds like church bells or tubular bells. If you watched the show, then you know we've also done a whole episode just on making items out of things that we use on an everyday basis in our kitchen, in the garage. So you can check out that episode as well. This instrument here, made from salad bowls, was actually made from my father. Mr. Will's dad made that. In front of me, I have some more bells, a bell set, which also is called a glockenspiel. Pretty sound. And it's also made out of metal. One of the most popular bells that you hear during the holiday season are sleigh bells. Oh, I love sleigh bells. Here's a sleigh bell instrument that I made. Pretty cool, huh? It's got gold and silver sleigh bells. What do you think of when you hear sleigh bells? Many people all around the world may think of different things. It really depends on where you're from and your culture. If you're in different parts of the United States, where I am, in the southeast of the United States, you may think of Christmas time when you hear sleigh bells. I often think of Christmas when I hear sleigh bells. And I also think about horses that often have sleigh bells on them when they're walking. Large horses in tourist towns in many different parts of the world. Sometimes they may strap sleigh bells around the horses. Sleigh bells. I love to play sleigh bells. And I love the holiday season because I often play concerts during the Christmas season, and I get a chance to play different kinds of sleigh bells. Now, there are all different types of bells and chimes. There are cowbells, which is something that we'll talk about in a whole nother, which is something we'll talk about in a whole nother episode. Bum da da bum bum da da bum bum ba da bum bum da da dum dum da da dum dum da da dum. Well, hello there. I was just singing a little tune and drinking some warm hot chocolate on this cool winter afternoon, and also reading a little bit about idiophones, tuned idiophones as a matter of fact. Mr. Will had informed me that you were going over chimes and bells, including tuned chimes and bells. You know, there are many different ways to classify or categorize instruments, and one way is to use a system called the Hornbostel and Sock system, where we can put instruments in a category based upon their shape, how they sound, how they're played, and then we can organize them in a certain way. Well, the Hornbostel and Sock system is one way that many scholars and musicians categorize instruments. And tuned idiophones is often a category where instruments like the tubular bells and the glockenspiel and other tuned chimes and bells fit into. An idiophone is an instrument or an object that makes a sound when it is struck. It's usually an instrument that is solid or somewhat hollow and resonant enough to carry a sound when it's struck by something else. Tuned idiophones are capable of carrying a melody as well as the rhythm. Such a fascinating subject, and I love to hear the sound of tuned idiophones, especially and particularly from church bells. This time of year, sometimes I too hear church bells playing some of my favorite Christmas tunes. Anyhow, I'm going to get back to my warm hot chocolate and the reading of idiophones. I hope you're enjoying this lesson. Other instruments, other bells that you may hear during the holiday and winter season, particularly in the orchestra as well, are the tubular bells. They're also tuned bells. To hear more about these tubular bells, we have a special guest on the show, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the tubular bells.
Hello everyone, my name is Caroline Scott. I'm a senior at Pinecrest High School this year, and I'm actually in the Pinecrest Marching Band as well. I play keyboard instruments, which I'm not sure if you can see over there. I play the marimba in the marching band, which is a big keyboard instrument. However, in the winter concert setting, I play tubular bells. They stand upright and they have the same notes as you would find on a piano. And so, one thing to note about tubular bells, they do have a pedal down here. So whenever you hit it, especially with a mallet, so if I were to play the note C, it gives out a nice loud ringing sound.
Wow, those are really cool, Caroline. Can you play a couple notes on those tubular bells for us so we can hear what they sound like?
And if I were to play, let's say, A to F. So A, B, C, D, E, and F.
Wow, beautiful. I thought it would be really neat to talk about bells and chimes during the Christmas season, since we often hear sleigh bells and tubular bells during the winter and holiday season. A very popular song that's played during the Christmas season in different parts of the world is Carol of the Bells. Time signatures are how you count the rhythm in different songs. Carol of the Bells is a really popular song, and it has a very neat rhythm called a hemiola. That's when you have two beats in the song, 1, 2, 1, 2. As far as how long the rhythm lasts, you'll have those two beats. At the same time, you have 3 beats in the song. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I keep hitting these chimes. To demonstrate how these rhythms work together, I'm going to have my assistant assist us. my assistant assist us. One moment. All right, we have our assistant with us. She's going to assist us in demonstrating this rhythm called a hemiola, which is really when we take a beat of two, or rhythm pattern, 2 beats, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we fit it with a rhythm or pattern of 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We put the 1, 2 beats together with the 1, 2, 3, and play them at the same time. A popular song that you may hear during this season is Carol of the Bells, and it uses a hemiola. The song sounds a little like this. Dun, da, da, dun, 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 dun, da, da, dun. You may have heard that little line in the song. It may sound familiar to you. Carol of the Bells. It's also a very popular song played during the holidays that uses different types of bells. And it uses this rhythm called a hemiola. And that's when we take these patterns of 2 beats, 1, 2, with 3 beats in a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So our assistant is going to help us demonstrate how they work together by singing the beats together at the same time. So you can sing along with our assistant as she counts to 2. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep going. And then I'll count to 3 at the same time in the pattern of how the song goes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Dun da da dun, dun da da dun, dun da da dun, dun da da dun. 1, 2, 1, 2. Bum ba da bum, dun da da dun. Ready and stop right now. So we just played 2 beats and 3 beats together. So these are a few of my favorite types of chimes and bells. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.